Alright guys, welcome back to episode 12. Today we're talking about how we build our decks. And basically Jordan and I both build our decks like two completely different ways. So we're just going to go back and forth and talk about the way...
Like my step one, your step one,
yeah, exactly.
step two, yeah.
So do you want to go first?
Yeah, so the first thing I do every time is I pick what I want to do. Like, okay, I want to build I want to build a control deck. So then I go and I look up in the colors I want. I'm like, all right, well, if I'm playing control, I'm going to play blue, I'm going to play white, and then I just go from there, and then I find my commander. Which I think is, like, the hardest part. For me, at least. Yeah, like, I have a really hard time. Like, I go into, like, this weird panic mode where I look at these commanders, and I'm like, oh, that's really good, but then, like, also that's good. Yeah. But then, and then I try to, like, mash them together, like, oh, I'll add that one in the 99, but then it doesn't, like, flow with the rest of the deck, and it's just very, I don't know, it gets a little much. I'm telling you, like, I can build the 99 way better than I can just pick my commander.
Oh, really?
It's such a struggle. And so I spend a lot of time on EDH Rec, obviously, like most of us do, I just go on there and look at like the top commanders in my colors, and I usually try to pick something that's not as like on the top of the list.
No, yeah.
I really try to avoid, you know,
the number ones.
Yeah, like if I'm gonna build a Mardu deck, like I'm not gonna pick Markov. I'll pick
because you want a challenge. Because the rest of those decks, they have a clear like what you're gonna do.
Yeah, exactly. So so the very first thing I do, pick my commander, and that takes the longest.
The longest part for you?
Oh, I'll spend days just racking my brain, like, who do I have, like, who's my commander?
See, this is going to sound so weird, but the commander's the last thing I pick.
Oh,
I
really?
build my deck first. Like, unless it's a very specific, like Norin, I, like, pick Norin first and built around him, but, like, usually I pick colors. And then I pick...
Well, is this your step one?
Step one is I pick... We'll just say I pick colors for step one.
Okay.
And then... We can go into step two, I guess.
Yeah, because like so you just go in there and go, I want to play green, white, blue. And
I pick those colors. I go to EDH Rec, pick like 3 colors, which commanders I can choose from. And then my step 2 is I pick 3 decks that I like with those colors.
Okay.
And then I combine the deck list into one, so that it's 300 cards.
Oh.
And then like
ours are so different. We've never talked. We've never even discussed how we do this. So that's very intriguing.
So after I pick my the 3 decks, I have 300 cards. Obviously, I get rid of all the lands.
Okay.
And then so I'm stuck with like 200 or something cards, and then I pick a commander that would fit best with those, and then I narrow down to a 99.
That's so interesting.
I know. It takes so much time too, but it makes me like it gives me so many card options for those decks because like.
Yeah.
Every now and then there's like one card in this one deck that I'm like, I wish I knew about this, and that's how I find all my jank stuff because I just get like 400 cards to build a deck.
That's I really like that.
But it takes like 3 days to build a deck because you have to like debate over one card to get rid of. But.
So like, my step 2 is very different than that. See, so I pick my commander, and then what I do is I go and I just go find any resource I can. So EDH Rec, look at the top cards for that commander. And then I just go, and then the thing I think I like to do a lot more is go find random people's tapped outs or MTG Goldfish accounts, and just see what they put in that deck. Because then you find like your niche stuff.
That's where I get my deck list from. Is tapped out. Not EDH Rec,
Okay, yeah. So then after I go in there and I'll pick my cards, and I will hit the top cards in EDH Rec because. Yeah. They're the top cards for a reason. Good. Yeah, they're good. So
it's just not all of them belong in every deck, so you have to like go and filter through.
That's why I like under they have that thing that says like it's in 60% of the decks, but it has like negative 12% synergy with that commander. So then I can still like gauge it based on that. But then I do a lot of stuff with like I'll go on, I'll try to get my like my key pieces set in stone. So when I built my Alacia deck recently, I was like, well, I know I want to do the Karmic Guide, Ashnod's Altar combo. Yeah. So I like specifically like put those cards in there. And then I said, okay, what other cards go good with those? Yeah. And then I just kind of slowly like go from my main pieces and trickle down slowly into the weird pieces that,
aren't going to be used all the time, but...
Yes, I'm so curious what you do after this.
Okay,
Because
so
at this point you have, what, 200 cards in a list?
Yeah, I have like 200 cards, and I usually do this on X-Mage, because it's really easy to build decks on X-Mage.
It is, yeah.
And for people who know what it is, it's similar to MTGO or Arena, but it's not like through Wizards.
No, not
It's like an open source. I'm pretty sure it's technically like illegal.
Probably.
But you basically can get, like, build any deck for free. You don't have to pay. And on Xmage you can like paste deck lists. So I build I get 3 different deck lists, put them all into Xmage, and then I get rid of all the lands. And then what I do similar to you is I then find in those colors on EDHREC, I find 2 commanders that I think would work best with this deck.
Okay.
And then I make one as the commander, and I put one in the 99 as like a backup to like swap it out.
Okay.
So then I have like 200 or something cards, and then I start like splitting it into categories like removal, ramp, actual like this is synergy for the deck,
right,
board clears, and then I just keep narrowing it down from there.
Okay.
But I mean, I don't know how specific we should get into this right now.
And
like, should I go my full breakdown of what I have in each deck, or?
If you want to, go nuts.
Okay, so
Go crazy.
I usually do 10 cards a ramp no matter what, and that doesn't include signets. I make that like separate. Like, if I'm playing green, like Kadama's Reach, Cultivate,
right, Farseek, all
Temp
that.
with Discovery, everything. I mean, with obviously, if I'm not playing green, it's a lot harder to get 10 ramp cards.
Yeah.
But you still have Solemn Simulacrum, Wayfarer's Bauble, stuff like that, Thought Vessel, other signets. And then I try to do 10 control spells. And control spells, I kind of give that like a broad term, because I also consider that like board clears and removal.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, so like, I usually don't run counter spells and all that.
So like interruption spells maybe? Or like stuff like stop.
Like a lot of instants, some sorceries, but a lot of like Wrath of Gods, like Vandal Blast, Blasphemous Axe.
Just swords in your paths.
Yeah,
and all
exactly.
Those. Okay.
So I try to do, that's like 20 cards right there. And then after that, since I already got rid of the land base, I rebuild it from scratch.
That's all. Yeah, that's always a good idea.
So then I know how many lands I already have in the deck. I usually stick to like 36 to 40.
Yeah.
And then after that, I take my 200 cards and I just start narrowing it down, dragging and dropping. I want this one in there. I want this one in there. And then I check and look at like the CMC to make sure the curve's good. And I just keep adding cards until I'm out of cards to add.
Okay.
And then like I'll take the remaining cards that I didn't put in there and put them on a notepad and just save them for later. So then if I'm like, this card doesn't work, I'll just swap it out with one of these others that I know will fit.
Interesting. Because then once I'm done, so like my I guess step 3 is once I have my this is what I'm doing list. Every time I do it, I have to go in and obviously I build my own mana base. But that's barely a step. But
well, a lot of people don't, so it's
right. They don't
because then they're confused on why their decks don't play right.
Oh, I can't stress how important it is to and if you're not good at building a mana base, then it's practice.
Yeah.
Because it is so important. Because I've seen people copy this mana base off this website, and I'm just like, it's terrible.
Yeah.
It's great for that deck, but it's terrible for yours.
Yeah.
But
or it's super expensive.
Oh yeah, or it can be crazy expensive. But the thing I do once I have my combo pieces in place and my synergy pieces in place, then I start going in and finding I do my what if cards.
Okay.
Like the cards that, and I know I know what ifs are weird in Commander because those what ifs don't happen all the time. But I go, all right, well, what if my commander gets shut down? What do I do to prevent that?
Yeah, like a backup plan.
Yeah, I have my backup plans, but that also kind of goes in with my interruption spells, because then I have to think about what's in the meta, my meta or our meta, and then go, all right, well, what if? Because it does matter. What if Kev plays Norn? Then what am I going to do to stop that? If Caitlyn's playing Kydel, what am I doing to stop that? Yeah. So, because at the end of the day, your deck can be perfect. It can do what it's meant to do perfectly. But if you get stopped by someone else,
deck's over.
It's over. Yeah. So I always have to think of what decks are played the most and how do I stop them from doing that in those colors, and I run those pieces, and that also takes me quite a long time because you get to that point where you don't want to put too much of that because then you're just playing a control deck against specific decks.
Yeah.
But I do have to think all the time of I'm trying to think of a deck that I really have to think about. Now my new one is Riley plays that Niv Mizzet Spellslinger deck, and I'm like, well, how do I stop that?
You need a lot of counters or something.
Counters, or like I have to get rid of his commander and like get rid of his commander well.
Yeah. And his commander can't be countered, so.
Commander can't be countered, so I have a problem there. And then I'm like, okay, but do I want to play like a Darksteel Mutation or something like that? And then is that in my colors? Is it a wasted spot in my deck? And it's just like this whole like rundown of like, do I need it? Why do I need it? Is it good? Is it good always? Because do I want to run that spell just to stop Niv Mizzet, or can I use that for like, because it doesn't do shit against Norrin?
Yeah.
Like, what am I gonna do? I can't Darksteel Norrin. So
you
what?
Can't really target Norrin.
Right. So it gets very. That's like a big step for me. Is this weird not narrowing down, but like adding weird pieces.
Yeah.
To the
like fit the meta.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think that's important because like. I play a lot of red, and you're starting to now, but
I love it.
Like I play a lot of the red Elemental Blast.
Yeah.
Which is the red counter spell. There's another one you guys used to call it Pyro Blast.
There's
Pyro.
Well, there's red Elemental Blast, blue Elemental Blast.
The other red one. You guys called the red Elemental Blast.
Is it Pyro Blast maybe?
Pyro Blast,
Something like
maybe?
that. Yeah.
I don't know. They both do the same thing, but it basically is one red in an instant, and it says counter target blue spell or destroy target blue permanent.
Yeah.
And like when I'm playing against you, Riley, Alex, or Caitlin, like. I need that in my deck because red's not gonna compete with a blue deck like at all.
And,
like especially in Commander.
And there's so much blue.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care what meta you're in, if you're a control meta or not. People play blue.
No. Yeah. So it's just important to like think about what decks are being played in your meta because like if I don't think about that, I'm just gonna show up to the table and get killed on turn 3 because I didn't think about that.
And that's happened to me with decks I've built.
Yeah.
Which I
think we've all gone through that.
Yeah, and it's not a good feeling when you're like
we all bring a new deck to the table and then we just get shit on.
Yeah, and it's not fun. And that's why I've had to really revamp the way I build my decks is what cards are good against my meta. Because like right now in our meta, like the only graveyard decks are mine.
Yeah.
So like I don't play Rest in Peace. I don't play like Tormod's Crypt or like Relic of Progenitus or any of those graveyard disruption spells because I don't need them.
Yeah. But I play a Bajuka Bog because I know you do. So
I do play Bajuka Bog.
Yeah.
And I'm always a target of Bajuka Bog.
Yeah. Because you're the only graveyard player.
But so like, you know, and so then it comes down to like if I have to adjust that later, like what if you start playing a ton of graveyard? Now I have to go revamp decks to I mean those cards are easy to slot in, they're all colorless, so except for Rest in Peace, but it's just that's a very weird part for me. Is that narrowing down.
Do you want to talk about cards that we add no matter what? Because I have a few of those.
Yeah, that's actually probably not a bad.
Do you want to go first or you want me to?
Go ahead, because that was on the spot for me, so I have to think of like.
I feel like we'll have like the same a few of them.
Yeah, probably.
Obviously, Soul Ring.
Obviously.
Ever since the Command Zones stats episode, I've been adding Solemn Simulacrum to every deck no matter what, and Wayfarer's Bauble. I've been adding
Wayfarer's Bauble more than
because it costs 1 and then you pay 2 and you get an extra one.
Yeah, it's basically Expedition Map, but not.
It's a little better.
No, the Expedition Map lets you get any land.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Wayfarer's Bauble lets you get a basic.
Yeah.
But even then, for the price difference, that's fine.
Yeah. What was it? Oh, lands. There's like 4 lands I always put in a deck no matter what. Reliquary Tower, which Josh Lee Quide disagrees with me on this. Caitlin agrees though.
Caitlin is the biggest
Reliquary Tower
fan of all time. That's maybe her favorite card printed in Magic, and I'm like, that's
it's like $1 or $2, but it's a land that says you have no maximum hand size, and you would think in a red or green deck that's not really like necessary. But you never know. Like playing Commander, there's a lot of people who will make you draw a ton, like, and you won't even realize it. So it's just good to have that land. It taps for colorless. You never know when you need that. I always put Command Tower and a Ghost Quarter in every deck, no matter what.
Yeah, I was gonna do Strip Mine, but those went up to $20. So now I do Ghost Quarter or Tectonic Edge. I think is the other one.
Yeah, maybe. I was gonna say Strip Mine, but I only have one.
I have one. I have one also because they're so expensive. But yeah, the ones I add all the time, like without question, or at least I try to, depending on what I'm doing, is obviously Command Tower, Soul Ring. You know, my fast mana stuff like my Thought Vessels and all that. But I tend to use a lot of the same removal. A lot.
Yeah.
Like, I throw a Swords to Plowshare in every deck I can play it in.
Oh, yeah.
And I think most people do. I do... What's the other card that I add a lot? Oh, Ravenous Chupacabra. I add that in a ton of my decks. Like, a lot of black decks I've played that have black in them, I run that in there. And that card just makes people really angry for some reason. I'm like, it's not even good. It's a 4-mana kill spell. It's not that great. But I also
targets one creature.
I also started, if I'm playing blue, like I started adding Mystic Confluence a lot.
Mystic Confluence, I'm trying to think.
It's like that. It's like 3 blue, and it has 4 or 5 modes on it. You can you can choose from, and you can choose
like counterspell, draw cards. Or do something.
It's like a bad cryptic command, but cryptic command's too expensive. But I started adding Mystic Confluence because I felt that it's come in handy so often. Because you can choose 3 modes on it and choose them more than once. So even if I'm like paid 5 mana and like draw 3 cards, that's fine.
That's still really
good.
good.
I'm okay with that. I'll pay that.
There's one blue spell that I feel like a lot of people don't play. Oh shit! I just forgot. Oh okay. I forgot the name of it. Spell Swindle. It came out in Ixalan.
Oh yeah.
I played in my Rogues deck, and most of the blue decks I own, I only own like 2.
Yeah, but isn't like it's like that 7 mana enchantment, isn't it?
It's a 5 mana counterspell, but it reads, when you counter the spell, create X treasure tokens.
Oh
X
yeah.
is the CMC.
Oh, it's the weird mana drain.
So basically, if you counter a spell CMC 5 or higher, you just casted that spell for free because you get all the treasure back. But if you counter something like Torment of Hailfire for 30, you just got 40 treasure tokens because you countered someone. Yeah.
Also, one I've been doing, I actually started adding like recently. I started like thinking about adding it to decks is Rakdos Charm or no Rakdos. Rakdos Charm?
Yeah.
The one that's deal one. Yeah, they'll deal one to each creature deals 1 damage to their.
Yeah, that's a good one. Any token deck.
Yeah, and against any token deck, or even like, I mean.
Any of the charms actually.
I like it. I love the charms. Yeah.
Because they're one of each color. They're an instant. They all have different modes, and they all have modes that really help in those colors.
I want to build Ramos Lucky Charms. It's Ramos, but you just play every charm you can. Every charm in every color you play.
So it's just control.
Yeah, basically. And then some builds don't even use creatures at all, and you just use Ramos as like, I have a gajillion counters on him, swing him, and then
you get a bunch of mana.
And then, I need to drop 5 counters off and make some mana on like your turn and drop a bunch of charms and stuff. It's really cool.
Yeah, that sounds like a cool deck.
But I think the last thing I do, once I add my go-to every deck cards is I love X-Mage, and I go on X-Mage and just test and test and test and test for days. Yeah. And the first thing I do, I don't know if you ever do this, but I go on the local server, which is like just you.
Yeah, I don't do this. But
and so anyone who so when you go on X-Mage, there's like 3. So there's like a European server, an American server, and then a local server. And you can go on the local server, and it'll let you match up against like these bots. They're like.
It's like a computer.
It's a computer-controlled player, and mind you, they're not good. Even cranking them up to 10, all that means is they swing at you every turn.
And they don't really have good decks at all.
I mean, I've done it where I upload my.
You build your own decks for them?
Yeah, I'll pick. I have my old Rakdos build, and then I'll give it to them. Yeah. But so the reason I do that is because I want to see if the deck just runs smoothly in a best case scenario. Like so on my best game, which against a computer is every game, is this deck doing what it's meant to do? Yeah. Because that way I know, okay, at least it does what it's meant to do. Then I'll take it. And then I'll take it to the actual servers and play with real people, and see, okay, how does this do when I'm actually being targeted? How when there's people making optimal plays. Yeah. And once I'm done with that process, I go switch out cards. I'm like, okay, that didn't work. This did work, and then I do it again, and I just keep doing that process over and over and over again. So I go, this is my list. I love it, and go. Yeah. And then I build it.
Our last step's basically similar, but when I have all those cards, I basically narrow it down to 99, keep the extra aside, and I go on X-Mage the same thing. But I build decks over a super long period of time. I mean, I was building that Rogues for 8 months. Yeah. I wanted to make sure the deck list was I did not want to switch a card out, just because when I first started playing, I didn't have a lot of money, so I didn't want to spend $300 on a deck and it not work. So with my Xantia deck, I've spent 4 months on that, and I still haven't bought it yet because I'm I don't know if it's 100% yet.
I'm excited for it.
I know. I just want it so bad, but I don't know. I just need to make sure it works. But
reasonably.
Yeah, I spend 2 or 3 months testing on X-Mage, and I'll just if one card didn't give me that much value, I'll just take that card out and swap it in with another card and play it again for a week and see if it was worth it. Add it back, and then I just order it. That's basically it.
Yeah, that's all I do. Cause that's our whole process. The one thing I wanted to add in the deck building process, just because I see so many people do it, is people will be like, oh, well, I found this list online, I'm going to build it.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
No.
And like, I don't, if you net deck, like, because if you play competitive formats, all you do is net deck.
You have to.
Yeah, no
because
one,
like the number one list is gonna be that exact 99.
right. No one plays modern and goes, I'm gonna come up with a new modern deck. That's not. No, you just go, oh, dredge. I'm gonna build that dredge.
No,
What?
Unless you're me, and then you get shit on at modern, but
it's okay. But so like, if you find a list you like, let it inspire you all day.
Yeah.
Because when I built my Mistform Ultimus deck, I ended up I built it, and then I went and looked at MTG Mudsta's build for his, and I'm like, oh, like, I like what he did with his creature base more than what I built. So then I'll like swap out a couple. So my creature base is a few cards off from his. Oh, the rest of it's a little different, but you know, I didn't take his list and go and paste it into Card Kingdom and order it. I just use it as inspiration. Because then it's like also like building a deck that you didn't build or like buying a deck you didn't build doesn't always feel great. You're like,
well, and like half the fun in playing the game is building the deck and then it doing well, and you're like, shit, I built this. Yeah. And you're not gonna have fun if you don't like know what half the cards do. And if you paste a deck offline, you're not gonna know the 99 exactly. But if you build it yourself, you're gonna know, hey, I picked that card from there. I picked that card from there. I know what each one of these cards does, why it's in the deck. Why I put it in there?
Because even when I play other people's decks, because I didn't go through their process, I'll pull a card and I'm like,
you're like, why is this?
Well, this is alright. And I'll ask them anything. They're like, oh, it's for this. I'm like, oh,
so
alright.
It makes sense.
But in the moment, I'm just like dead draw. Like I don't know what that is.
Yeah, because if you paste some deck from say I copied a deck Jordan made and I'm confused on why there's one random artifact's in there, and he's like, oh, it's for this combo. Yeah. How am I supposed to know that unless I built it myself?
Yeah,
like,
exactly. And that's especially with new players, I know it's easy to go on EDH Rec and be like, oh, that list is in my budget and order. And that's fine when you're new, but...
Yeah, that's what I did when I first started.
But you're going to, like, people need to, like, learn eventually, like, the deck building aspect of Magic is my favorite part of Magic.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I did. I had that Dramoka deck. I had the $40
that was
Dramoka
really
deck.
Cool, though.
It was a cool deck. It wasn't even my list, but I got bored with it after, like, 3 games, because I was like, I didn't build this. Like, it clearly is good. Like, I wanted to put myself up to a challenge.
Because you lose interest, because, like, when I build, like I love Caitlin's Kydel deck more than, I think that deck's one of the coolest decks I've ever seen, but when I play it, I don't feel anything.
Yeah, because it's not yours.
Don't get me wrong, I'm, like, doing my thing, and I'm, like, turn 5, Ulamog, I'm like, and everyone's like, oh, no, and I feel good, but then I'm just like, but it's still not mine, I didn't do that.
You didn't
like,
put in the effort to make it
she
that
did
way.
that.
Yeah.
I'm just so, like, I'll still play it and have fun with it, but it's not my thing. Yeah. It's not my, like, creation, and that's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah. Do you want to get into your favorite thing of the week? Do you want me to go first?
I can do my favorite thing of the week. So my favorite thing of the week came to light yesterday.
Oh.
So I've mentioned this band on this channel before. My Friends and Motives. They are from Cleveland. I highly recommend checking them out. They're really good dudes. They have been talking about their new album for months. And not online, just like to me personally. Yeah. I see a few of them, they're like, new album's so good. And I'm like, release it, please.
Yeah.
It's still not out. That's not my favorite thing of the week.
Oh, okay.
It's not out yet. And I ran into their guitar player yesterday who actually produced my band's first EP.
Oh, okay.
He helped us a ton with recording and stuff like that. And I saw him at the mall, and I was like, dude, real talk, where's this album? And he gave me the reasons, that I don't want to like spread their business, but there's a reason the album's not out yet. There's nothing like bad, it's just they're waiting for the right opportunity, the right time. He's like, it's done, it's in our possession, we just don't want to have it released yet. And I was like, dude, we're dying over here. And he's like, yeah, I wish I had answers for you, but I don't.
Leak it.
Yeah, and I'm like, he's like, I have answers for you, but I don't.
Give me a flash drive.
And so he had mentioned, he was like, are you coming out on the 30th? Because they're doing their first headlining show in Cleveland on the 30th at Mahal's.
I saw the poster for that.
I'm very excited. He's like, you going? I'm like, absolutely, I plan on going. I'm really excited. He goes, we're filming a live music video that day for a new song off the new album. And what we're going to do is we're going to give every one of our friends or people who like support us a lot, we're going to give them a song early off the new album.
Oh, that's sweet.
To like, so that way like when they show up, we can like be in the video like singing along and all that stuff.
Yeah,
and he sent it to me last night. He sent it to me early. And
is it amazing?
Oh my god. And
leak it.
The funniest thing about it was, his name is also Kevin.
Oh, really?
So I get a message on Twitter, and it just says, Kevin, and it's a Dropbox link. So my first thought was like, you sent me something?
Yeah.
I'm like, what did Kev send me on Dropbox? And I hit play, and it's just like, hardcore song. And I was like, what is? I'm like, what?
Kevin likes hardcore.
Right? And I was like, what is this? And Tom's like, not that Kevin. I was like, oh, I don't know. I just talked to him 20 minutes ago. No, I didn't like think of that. But yeah, I heard the new song, one of their new songs, and it's
awesome.
incredible. I'm very excited for the show. So, yeah, Mahal's 20 Lanes in Lakewood, Ohio on March 30th. Motive's headlining show.
Shit, tell them if they need an extra cameraman, hit me up.
They do. They might. They pour.
Okay, I'll do it for free.
They are a struggling band like the rest of us have been. But yeah, so their new album, or their new song that I've only heard and most people haven't, is my favorite thing
Oh, that's awesome.
of the week.
My favorite thing of the week is actually a YouTube channel. And I didn't discover them recently. I actually found them like years ago. And I just rediscovered the channel again. It's always like a fun thing because I used to watch YouTube when I was like 12 for people who didn't know. And then I kind of took a break from it in high school because I was like, I need to be a social person and not be in my room. So then when I rediscovered YouTube again like 2 years ago, I found all these old channels again. And there's this Russian channel called Stop a Douchebag. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
No.
Okay, so I guess in Russia there's like this really big traffic problem. And people just parking wherever the fuck they want because there's like no parking spots, and driving on the sidewalks like a really big issue there, which that's fucking crazy.
They're just like,
yeah,
true.
And well, I guess their sidewalks are like the size of roads, but it's for like bikes and stuff, not cars.
Okay, but they don't care.
There's these 10 kids, all teenagers. They're like protesters, and they just stand in the middle of the sidewalk and wait for people to hit them with their car, and it's so funny because it's like instant karma compilations, but on steroids because it's in Russia. So like there's this one episode where this Russian diplomat gets out of his car and pulls a pistol on these kids and he's like, get the fuck out of my way. And then all of a sudden you see some dude who's actually like a bystander pull an AK-47 out of his car and he's like, get the fuck back in your car and drive on the road, you dumbass. And like it's the best thing ever. It's like you just see these Russian people get owned all the time.
What's it called? Catch a Douchebag?
It's called Stop a Douchebag.
Stop a Douchebag?
Yeah, and they have 2 channels. They have one in St. Petersburg, Russia, and then one just called Stop a Douchebag World for like all of Russia.
Okay.
But it's just so funny because you just see these old Russian people just feel so entitled and they always get owned. And like they just call them cool things like the Jawbreaker, the Snow Queen, because it's always these old people throwing like fits.
I've never watched the video, but I'm subscribed.
No, yeah,
I subscribed.
you would enjoy it just because like this one old dude pulled a bat on them and then he got pepper sprayed and like mobbed on by all these people and they're like, maybe if you drove on the fucking road you wouldn't end up like this. And it's just,
I don't condone violence,
so
but like
funny.
Russia's such another like universe.
Well, all of the violence that they do, they're very good about it. They get the cops involved a lot, so like it's always self-defense. Like they never hit people first. They're
not like a weird gang of kids.
They're like, if the car hits us, we're gonna put this giant sticker on their windshield that says "I drive like a douchebag," and like they do it on every car. And like they put one on a Lamborghini, and the dude got out with a bat and was like, "Get this fucking sticker off my car!" It got pepper sprayed. It was like it's great. I don't know. It's a fun channel. You guys should check it out.
I had nothing to do tonight, but that's what I'm doing.
It relieves my stress when I get angry. So, yeah. All right. Well, thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Leave us a comment.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.